The final feature that we're going to discuss on the lower display is fluidity. Fluidity is the opposite of viscosity. Most of the repetitions that you've done in your life up until this point were performed through the air, which has a certain density that you've become accustomed to moving through. You're able to accelerate the mass through this medium. But what if that medium was to change? What if we wanted to see what it was like to accelerate the same 5 pounds through a denser medium? We would reduce your fluidity. When your fluidity is 100, you're moving through the air. And as you reduce your fluidity, maybe you're moving through water and then maybe maple syrup as you get it lower. It doesn't change the mass. It changes the density of the medium with which you're trying to accelerate it through. Carl, let's set you up with those triceps pushdowns with 100% fluidity. This should feel familiar. This is an XO classic curve, 20 pounds concentric, 20 pounds eccentric, with 100% fluidity, and the sink is off. So you've got complete and total freedom here to move in a way that probably feels familiar to everything that we do.
Yep.
Because we're moving through the air. But if we change that fluidity and we reduce it by 30%, it's still the same different. 20 pounds, but it's just harder to accelerate it because the density of the medium that he's moving through has become greater.
Much harder.
Good.
Awesome.
Coop, you got that?
All right. We're good.
Okay, so let's talk about the Exo Trainer history file. You come in, you know which exercise you want to do, and you want to make sure that you record it and that it's easily accessible to you. Let's start with giving it a name. Exercise name, R, T-R-I, push, as in, as I was. L, T-R-I, push, as in a left triceps push down. I'm going to perform 5 repetitions. So I go to my rep counter and I select 5. I am going to use the C-rep feature for this. And I am going to use an Exo flat plus curve that has a 20-pound concentric and a 10-pound eccentric. I'm going to activate my confirmed repetition, and because I'm overloading the concentric phase, I'm going to swap those from what we used on our first example with Nick. I'm going to say that my concentric phase is not only going to be weighted in higher force, but also in greater time in phase. I'm going to make it 3 seconds, and then I'm going to make my eccentric phase just 1 second. And he's a little taller than me, so let's go like that. I've set up the parameters for my confirmed repetition. Now let me just go ahead and tilt this arm back into a position that helps me do this at a good angle here. I hit my blue, activate the feature. I perform my first repetition. And where's my C-rep? There you are. I'm going to wait for you. Here we go. It's going to be a 3-second concentric, 1 second isometric short, 1 second eccentric, 1 second isometric long, 3-second concentric, quick eccentric, 3-second concentric. You can see the green bars in the upper display, in the top display, counting my repetitions out for me. And when I get to 5, come on, you can do this, buddy. The Exo Trainer is going to log my exercise. The green wave means I was using the left cable, and all I have to do is go up to my history file. The name of the exercise is there.
The green wave is the right
file that I used is there. And my C-rep is there. When I want to come back next week and pick up where I left off, it's simply select and redo. Now, all the parameters are exactly as I left them. I'm interested in improving my performance. Let's move the whole thing up by 5 pounds. And then we can easily move into our progression model. So I just picked up where I left off with my previous set from the history file, and I performed a very poor set. But the Exo Trainer still logged it. Let's go check out the history file. Now you can see that there are 2 L-tri pushes both using the same resistance profile and the same C-rep guiding waveform. If I go ahead and hold and push on it, I'm going to get the detailed view. It's going to give you every metric you can imagine and probably that many times 1.5. You're going to get your C-rep score progression. The first set that I did was 96, and I did very poorly my second time into it. My concentric power progression was low, but higher in the second time because I was just blasting through those repetitions. And these green bars are the expanded version of what we see when we're just counting those repetitions. We can remove one. If we made an error to help keep our scores accurate to the work that was done properly.